No, I think so. I mean, this map is always about take your fights quick, be decisive, because if you don't, the blue will make your decisions for you. The amount of running players have to do in this map is just a lot. And a lot of fighting is going to get resolved by the blue zone, mid to late game, circle 4, circle 5. So take smart fights, be ahead of your opponents, because if you're not, you'll just be dead.
For sure. And you know who was smart? Game 1, El Chapo. 4 kills, 591 damage. But El Chapo, not in that first place spot when it comes to player rankings. We see Sandro from UDR, 5 kills, 681 damage. Pretty solid for game 1. Don't forget, there will be an MVP reward too by the end of this tournament, $5,000. So there is that to look forward to. And I mentioned the hot drop potential, 19 esports and Alpha 7. It looks like Alpha 7, they were able to claim that spot for themselves.
Yeah, 19E going for a bit more of a split drop. Given the Chief fans on the roster, this is something that Nova Esports, that the team he normally plays for, likes to do a lot on this map. So I'm not surprised to see 19E sort of adopting the strategy. Also, shoutouts to Fresh there. Down there on Destiny, actually 700 damage. Number 5 only secured 2 kills, but it's 700 damage in that last game. Again, I was sad that we didn't get to see really any of Destiny's play. They're a team, I hail from Germany. I was excited to see what they could do. So hopefully we get to see some this time around. As Nextria Gaming, Udyr is potentially caught out a little bit here. Up on the high ground, I'm not sure Acer, actually, it may not be them who's caught out. It may be 19E. I don't think they have any idea that their opponents are there. Acer, absolute all-star veteran player. So many accolades this player has achieved, Dave, but they might just be dead if they're not careful.
Yeah, you could be an all-star player, but 2v1, yeah, especially an uphill battle, I don't care who you are. It's going to be a tough cookie to swallow, and it looks like Acer immediately spotted right there. And to me, this team, 19 Esports, though, watching scrims, they were doing really well with getting consistent placement points. And I think that's very important because the roster kind of new, playing together, trying to feel each other out. And I think if you could make sure to get those consistent placement points every single game, that should set them up pretty well looking towards that last day. And we'll be checking in. Looks like Sam pulling back to Shifan over there. I'm assuming Shifan is going to be the IGL here too because they were the IGL for their squad. So new IGL, just a new roster coming together to play here and represent Canada.
Are indeed, and that's the risk with the split drop there. Oh, right on by. Okay, both teams do the split drop, but having Nextria Gaming being a little bit closer together, playing more of a 2-2, I think worked out well for them. Gosh, that Cybertruck looks good. Anyway,
it does.
I want one in real life. Anyway, 19 Esports, yeah, they're going to have to try and play around with 3. We saw them being able to do a lot with 2 in that last game, but still losing Acer early like that. The reason I laughed was because it's just like, I don't think he knows they're there. He jumps out the most exposed position he could humanly be in. And uh-oh.
Look at this,
Street Game needs to be careful. They're going for a bit of an old school loop scout there, and hitting a tree on the way back is a great way to make sure you don't make it back to the team.
The thing is, though, as well, to kind of consider these electric vehicles. It's electric, baby. So they're kind of quiet. They're kind of quiet. And you might not necessarily hear that pull up until it's too late. So Frozen, the 3-time MVP, doesn't even need a scope. No scope needed. Iron Sight trying to get some spray over there as Shifan trying to group up with their squad mates.
I mean, he didn't hit a single bullet, so maybe a scope would have been nice.
Hey, I respect it.
Right out there. No, absolutely. This is a team that people really have their eyes on. They're a squad that I keep hearing get hyped up over and over again, and I love the fact that they know they have an advantage in a 4v3, so they're going to continue to try and push it, forcing 19E out. However, another fight potentially breaking out here. Onyx, Rahad, up on the high ground, trying to move their way in towards this next circle. As the nades start flying in, Rahad is well split though. Delhap is pretty far back, so let's see what 9 can do here if they can get this short range lob. This opening knock would be massive for this team, and I don't know where you're throwing that grenade.
Trying to fish him out as Master doing the same thing, getting some nice damage, but that half wall able to secure some of that damage, and Master popping up, UMP in hand, the spray, taking down 1, and here comes the fight.
Coming around the rock, dodging and weaving. Nice peek there We're seeing it now, a 2v2 situation, but Morty's gonna go down. That's massive, and I mentioned Delhap's really back and far, split from the team. But hang on, Desha is going to drop for a second. I thought maybe able to clutch it out here, and now Team Onyx will have the ability to lick their wounds, try and reset. Master did end up getting confirmed through all of that, though. But it is going to be a 3v1 as Delhap finally makes it here. They're going to have to go beyond clutch, Dave.
Yeah, it looked like Seven did spot out that solo player trying to group up and provide that support. And honestly, that fight in general was sketch. I didn't know who was going to come out on top. It was. I was getting me nervous. Just the double peek from Rod right there, popping out that rock. Usually, you like to see if you have two players behind a rock, they go opposite directions. Try to keep them off guard. But this is good. Onyx, game one, they were extremely passive. They played in the blue. They were all the way out there. They showed up maybe circle number 4. So for them to already be getting involved here, getting some kills underneath their belt, 3 kills. They only lost 1. That's a win for me.
100%. At this point, taking those trades when you're just trying to reset after that first game. I mean, to be fair, running into Alpha 7, not optimal, to say the least. Running into Carrillo in a dark alley. Not the position you want to be in. But they're in a not bad spot going into this next circle. They do have a couple of options. You have to worry about Destiny on the other side of the river there, so keep an eye on that. Is jumping on board with Clash. Clash, quite quiet in that first game. They ended up securing a relatively decent placement, but they didn't do it with a ton of kills. So we'll see what they can do. Is Alpha 7 once again playing 3-1 with Carrillo as the scout, which I think is the right call. You've got such an aggressive, one of the best close-range fraggers. Why would you not put him in that position to play his style?
It is a one-man army, right? I mean, they can hit their shots. They could. We saw in the past, I believe, squad wipe. Yeah, okay. So we tend to see a lot of teams, at least the high-level teams, they like to play a 3-1, and usually that one player is that player that could clutch up in those moments. And the other 3, they're on the hills and they're playing the Overwatch. They're playing the support. They're making sure that their star player, their star fragger, has the room to work with, has the room to navigate, has the room to reposition and really come out with those plays while their 3 squad mates in the back are making sure that they're covered and they have the time needed not to get caught off guard. And I think that's what Alpha 7 are kind of flexing here right now. They are grouping up, though, a little bit. They do have to swim across that water, of course. But that's just, me trying to analyze, comparing to other regions or whatnot, what we're seeing here today in game number 2.
And I think it's such a good thing to talk about because I think we saw it exemplified the absolute best here in North America with PK, the 3-1 with Coops, just unlocking the power of that fragger. Like, we know how impactful that can be when you play around these star players and really facilitate. I mean, they're all amazing. They're all fantastic. They can all hit their shots. But when you have that player who just has that star power, that extra factor, and you're able to unleash it by supporting them, the whole team gets better for it. So excited to see how Alpha 7 continues to play around that because they're a squad that I think wants to continue to step up, rep for their region because, of course, for Brazil, it's a hyper-competitive region. They want to do the work because we're seeing, Nomi has optics.
Tunnel vision right there. Just looking for that slight little pixel. And maybe get that head bop. And I love how you brought up, we got to get back to that one because, okay.
I don't think he's going to go for it. You give away your position. It's here on SANHOK. I don't
Maybe
think
if they stood still. Maybe.
Oh, never mind. Oh, my goodness, he's doing it.
Cover fire from
team fire.
players.
The team
That's
fire.
Great. Communication right there.
Wow. 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, that's a buzzsaw at 200 meters. Like, you don't live through that. Wow. I mean, they're going to be able to get the reset. They do give their position away, but we'll see if they use it to try and make a break. Because if they don't do anything with that, if they just give away the position for nothing, that was objectively the wrong call.
It was beautiful to watch, though.
It was.
I'm going to promise. It was beautiful to watch. And if they can kind of implement that moving forward, they should be looking at some kills. As next zone, not too bad. A majority of the teams still going to be in it. We got Team Queso down there. Camp Charlie looking to move up. We got Guns also down to the south. They might clash here very shortly. UDR, Konina Power, once again, though, find themselves in the crosshairs of one another on their rotational paths.
Oh, my goodness. And somehow Konina Power was able to make it out alive, at least for now. Oh, Nomi just got a little lucky, Dave.
Got that McLaren. Ain't no one touching you, man. That thing is zooming. And it looks like they're going to be pulling up into Quarry here. Oh, SANHOK. What was that? SANHOK with the quick flick. UMP in hand, and there's 2 points on SANHOK right there. Thank you very much. That's what he's saying.
And now they've got the wide wrap onto the 2 remaining players of Nextria Gaming, getting a little bit of revenge for how this game started. 19E looking to try and get back in here, but UDR Killers, here's the fight going to roll up as Pocus is just completely, potentially unaware of what's going on. Well, they're aware of it now as they just ran once again into this squad. And yeah, doing a great job of finding those kills where they can. Big misplay there from UDR Killers, not appreciating the scout, not appreciating the angle as G-Fans looking to put Nihat into the dirt. As the Molotov is going to come out, 19E looking for the redemption run.
Ooh, got him. She-Fan getting that grenade, jumping on top of this boulder. Get those sight lines, and it looks like 2 teams, 2 enemy squads. Well, they rolled up in the wrong area, and it's going to be some nice points on the board. Not done yet, though. Frozen, the solo. Oh, She-Fan. She-Fan doesn't know. Look at this right there. Frozen. Oh, they got him. They got him. 3v1. That was a tough one to win, of course. But if there was going to be that player, Frozen was that player that can pull out that clutch in that situation.
And look, if you're a fan just watching this and you see that clip in a vacuum, you probably think to yourself, why didn't he shoot? Why didn't he pull the trigger? Why didn't he go for it? There is a chance in that situation that they don't know he's there, that they move on, they loot, and they move past, and he can live and survive and get those points for the team. At that point, when you're sitting in 16th place, you get 0. It is absolutely the right call to try and survive, potentially, in that 3v1, especially when you don't have the high ground, to try and live through it. So I don't dislike the call there. He was just hoping to get a little bit lucky, and luck just wasn't quite on his side.
Yeah, that's 100% the play, especially when you're not exactly sure where everybody is. You know, you hear footsteps all around you, you see the indicators, you might not be sure where all the enemies are. And possibly if you are sure, okay, there's 2 there, 1 there, and you're really confident, then maybe we see you go for that clutch moment. But in that situation, I agree. It's like, just clutch it out, you know, clench them cheeks and hope that they don't find you and get those placement points. But that wasn't the case here.
Was not meant to be. 19 Esports mad that they lost Acer so early. Wanted to avenge their fallen teammate, and were able to do so. Just taking a look at the game state now, taking a look at the map, how teams are lining themselves up. Most teams at this point doing a pretty good job of staying ahead of the blue. We're just converging on the Delta right now and towards boot camp. I mean, pretty good position for a lot of these teams. Loco Nostra in particular, just outside of boot camp. 19 Esports there, Alpha 7. But Destiny up on the high ground, keeping an eye on that, because this is one of those high-risk, high-reward kind of scenarios, Dave. We've seen teams thrive there, and we've seen teams get punished.
Yeah, if it favors those cliffs, what you just did right there, they're in a good spot to get intel on squads rotating and possibly even get a couple knocks and confirms. And if it continues to favor them, they're already on top of the mountain, so they're going to have the advantage when everybody else is trying to claw their way and just find any type of cover. So we'll see. They're really putting all their eggs in that basket out there to that northwest, and Destiny looking for some big points here this game.
They're not alone. So we're seeing Guns and Team Queso fighting it out. They got the downside of the hard shift. They are way on the outside, way down here towards the south. They've got a ways to go. As we're seeing Guns, they did lose Freak early on, throwing the nades in downhill. Team Queso need to take this fight quickly because I talked about the blue always being at your back. This is the opportunity for you to show it. Who's boss? As they're getting the opening knock there. Nicely done. As Nitsu's able to grab that one there. Good position here. Guns is in a rough spot, Dave. I don't know how they survived this. They just got rolled up on, lost that first player, knocked themselves down, and this is going to be tough for them.
Well, one thing, though, they are going to have a squad behind them. Going to need a power, possibly gatekeeping them. Hamoudi, ooh, the crouch almost able to come out on top, but traded on from behind. And, I got to give it to Guns, though. They heard the pull-up from Team Queso, and they didn't wait for Team Queso to get close. They immediately started throwing those grenades. I'm going to say it was kind of like peacocking, letting them know, okay, there's a team here. You don't want to come in this direction. The thing is, Team Queso, they weren't taking the bait, and they pushed up anyways. And the reason they did that is because it's zone, not in their favor. So they had to take that fight. They had to win that fight, get that loot, and reposition. So Guns, that's a team I was looking for here, Paul. 2 games in a row. It hurts. It hurts right now to watch.
And I don't even think necessarily it's been bad play from them. They got caught out on a bad rotation in game number 1. They got caught from behind here in game number 2. Ralph is going to try and live as long as possible. You can do a pretty good job of just tanking the blue and going for the heal strats, something we see pretty commonly, but the double peek into Konita Power's Team Case out of the frying pan into the fire. The second I think they try and stabilize, they're one of the next team. It's the downside of pushing in so late and taking these fights. They're still not in the next zone, Dave, as Rima's going to drop to the blue. This is the danger of the situation, but Nitsu is looking to trade one back, but Nomi in that power position supporting the team. But Dave, this could be one of these mutually assured destruction fights where both teams know they're going to die, but they're going to take you with me.
And Nomi's looking to get some damage on the board. Ooh, you got to watch that head, though. Taking a lot of damage and already having to dip into their meds. Nitsu tossing the grenade. Is that going to be good? Nope. The boulder will be putting a halt to that one. Looks like both of these teams, Team Queso, Konita Power, deadlocked right here. Deadlocked in the blue.
One player from each team might try and make the rotation, but they're just going to take each other down for it. Nomi, that was the key anchor player, though, did end up dropping, which means that Pioneers just got to try and live a little bit longer. This is not a good situation. Team Case will have the motorcycles. They may still be able to rotate in, but they got another hard shift further to the north. Dave, this is going to be really tough to survive, as Gonzo is just out on the outside trying to live for the team, but again, the blue's just going to take you away. Just get as many points as you can.
Yeah, and one step at a time, too. Team Queso, you mentioned they do have vehicles, but right when they pop those vehicles, you have to assume Konita Power, they're going to spray it down. So first things first, they need to make sure to take out those enemies, and it looks like they were able to get a couple kills, but Papa Blue's not happy right now with them all the way out there. And Gonzo, almost able to make it out alive. Almost.
All right, Chivas.
Almost.
I love that animation too, because it looks like they just ran into one of those like you're watching Looney Tunes or something, and they get clotheslined and they just fall back. I love that animation. They get killed out of the buggy. It just looks so over the top and comedic. That's going to need a power going down. They will, be survived by their opponent down there in Team Queso. We'll see if Team Queso can make it into this next zone. We'll see how many meds they have. If they do, as Onyx is running into Destiny. This was the fight I was hinting at earlier, as Michi is going to try and just lay down this base of fire, more than 100 rounds in the clip, making it look easy.
Yeah, Onyx over here in these compounds. One thing to note, though, Destiny, because of those cliffs, they are currently separated. So they only got 2 over here, and they were able to storm it. Onyx, though, down to just 1. Meanwhile, the other 2 squad mates of Destiny trying to close the gap, trying to group up to make this a 4v1. They don't want to risk too much here because, of course, like you said, having those numbers towards late game, so huge.
And this is exactly what we're talking about with these cliffs, the high-risk, high-reward element. You're in a great position as long as you have the circle, but the second you don't, rotating down and around them puts you in some really precarious situations. So keep an eye on this as Chivas is continuing to push in here into the last wounded members of Team Queso. This is out in the blue. Ayala trying to be held on. Nitsu has been an absolute champion this game, got in with the vehicle, but I think this is as far as they are going to go. Luxie's coming in here, looking to try and find it.
Oh, Jacob from behind. The double grenade, catching them off guard. Team Queso didn't even see what hit them. Axel clutch, last one up.
15.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all.
No. They're probably going to be able to out-survive a couple more teams here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Team Queso make top 10, despite how this is going. Just looking at the way these next teams are stacking up on the circle here. The ZDR Killers, we're seeing them dropping like flies. Another team goes down. Ghost Gaming, though, we haven't talked about them a whole lot. They haven't really been in the action that much. 3 kills as Onyx is dropping. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, Dave. This is the SANHOK we know and love. And Shifan, hello?
Shifan does not want to be spotted right here. The Shifan's looking at that mini-map and, okay, I take that back. Shifan's like, hey, tasty snack, tasty treat. HH caught off guard, bleeding on out. Bayo connected on as well. Is right. Shifan cooking some grenades.
And Ghost Gaming looked like they were in a fantastic position, and just like that, there's down to just 2 players, and Shifan keeps surviving on the edge. He's going to have to try and swim in, though. This blue is pushing. Not a great position to be in, but again, looking to try and make that top 10. This is what this is all about. As we're seeing here, Quad's pushing in on the outside of that. Now there's Shifan done. 19E's out.
believe that was, what, Acer Island as well. Looking back at the Americas Championship, that was the island that he went for that crazy grenade. So it looks like both squads, that island not paying off. Destiny, though, still rolling up, strolling up. 5 kills. Okay, Destiny, we're looking at you. Germany.
Glad we get to see them. I'm glad we get to see them in this game because we didn't get to give them a ton of love in game number 1, and now making it here to the top 8. Axel's still out there in the blue, I should add. Team Queso is still surviving, starting to rack up those points. Very happy with the decisions they are making here as the blue continues to keep everyone coming in. Hope you did your cardio, boys, because you don't stop running as everybody is trying to find a home in this next circle. Destiny up on the high ground could be looking at a great spot right here, as well as RTG once again, but they're taking a little bit of damage as well from Godsend, continuing to push up the pressure here as Destiny, Godsend only, and Alpha 7 actually being able to keep all 4 alive. But for how long, Dave? That's the question.
Ooh, Daddy just made it in. Took some shots right there, immediately spotted, turned on Alpha 7. They are going to be down to 2, but I believe they have some cover to get those pickups, get those revives, unless you see the snakes. Yep, a big grenade. Even a molly right now would be huge.
They are all so low. Wave could do some work here as Godsend's gonna drop. Putting them down as RTG Esports only have 2 players actually up and standing. We'll see what they're going to be able to do here because Destiny's just in such a great spot. Fresh, who put up 700 damage in that first game, looking to continue to exert the pressure here as they're leapfrogging ahead of their opponent here, keeping the high ground as well. Alpha 7 looking at Mafioso in the back, going to be the anchor for that squad as we're down to only 5 teams.
Huge fight right here. Alpha 7, they're distracted. Godsend, they see a tasty snack. Destiny can totally pop up from behind. What they're doing, PM249 still coming on out. The spray. Destiny, 10 kills, taking down Alpha 7 Esports right there. Germany, let's go. Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
All spray, no pray. They knew exactly what they were doing. A heck of a crossfire coming in from them. So methodical. I love the way they're taking these double peaks. It's 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. They're never leaving one of their teammates out to dry. They're playing these close range fights really well. I'm excited to see how this team continues to play SANHOK over the next 3 days. So we're seeing Clash hanging on there. MZ, probably MZ, because, you know, that's how we pronounce it in the rest of the world. Hanging on there at the end. But this is looking like Destiny's game to win now, Dave.
Totally. 11 kills. Everybody's up. M249. RTG, though. Hey, consistent. They got 2 up right now. Oh, Beast. Hello. Guard tower. Watch out, MZ. Done. MZ done. That was a close call, though. Not gonna lie.
That was really nice. I mean, they had the, there's a surprise factor there, but able to put that big gun to bear one more time. RTG, now that guard tower has been taken over, they're out in the blue, and this is it, the final 2. And just like that, with Godsend going down, Destiny saying it is their destiny to take game number 2. And just like that, winner, winner, chicken dinner. But props to RTG as well. First and second back-to-back. Yes, please. That's the kind of consistency that wins tournaments, and in this case, puts